It's time for the HabNormals podcast. All Habs, all the time. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to HabNormals. It's our season preview as we're recording this one day early because our recording date is the first game of the season. So we're going to talk about as many things as we can that'll get you ready for the season. Let's put it that way. We're running late. We're on a time delay right now because we had some technical issues here. As always, I got my co-host over there, Matt Norton.
Happening.
And so the season has started officially now. We're recording this on Tuesday night. And as a matter of fact, both of us have the Bruins and Panthers game on. And it's 4-1 for Florida. So very interesting game for, if you don't like the Bruins, it's a fun game to watch. Okay, so I have some the rosters. We got we'll talk about the power play units. We'll give some predictions
for sure.
Yeah, and then we got a couple of things, just news items. They're not really Habs news items. We're going to go over that first and then get right into that. So let's not waste any time and tell you that, surprisingly, ex-Hab Jordan Harris didn't make the cut over there in Columbus. I don't know. I don't know about you, but that surprised me.
Yeah, no, it was surprising to me too. I don't really think Columbus is really that deep on the back end, and I would have thought someone of his experience probably would have made the team at camp, right? I mean, we've seen what he can do. He's not flashy by any means, but he's I think a solid bottom pair D man. Can play second pair minutes if need be.
And he's not waiver exempt, so
right.
Did they
can't send him down?
I didn't hear that he was.
I think he's like the 7th or 8th defenseman, from what I understand.
Oh, so he's on the roster, but he's not making the opening night lineup. Is that what it was? I heard that he didn't.
I believe so.
Oh, I guess maybe that's what I mistook it. Didn't crack the lineup, but he made the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so maybe I'm making more out of it then. But still, even then, I mean, I guess because, beginning of the season, maybe they want to see somebody else first and make a decision on somebody before. I mean, that's really nothing then. It's kind of like a nothing burger that I just came up with. That's on
pretty
me.
much. Yeah, anyway, it's all good.
If you're wondering why he's not on the roster for the opening night, then now you know why. There you go. At least something came to that. The other thing I wanted we'll just go over quickly is, and I think this came out this morning, is the New York Rangers goalie Igor Shesterkin has rejected a 8-year, $88 million contract offer by the Rangers extension, which is $11 million a year, which clearly would make him the highest paid goalie in the league.
I think ever,
because the carry price is still
10.5. Yeah,
at the moment. So now, interesting on that. While I was waiting for Matt to find his tripod, in between the periods for the Boston game, they talked about this, and so there's stuff I didn't know. Apparently, he wants to be the highest paid goalie, highest paid player on the Rangers. He's their best player, blah, 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 like that, right? Panarin makes $11.6 million. So he has to make more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why he rejected it, apparently. I mean, do I know 100% that's true? Considering it's the panel,
I think had something to do with it.
It might, yeah. But I mean, it sounds like that's accurate. Now, here's the thing for me. I don't think any goalie's worth that kind of money anyway. So, and I'll tell you the truth. Carey Price, considering there's not a goalie that's up there. Bobrovsky's the only one that's anywhere close. And then you got Vasilevsky at 9.5, right? Just that's it. So he was overpaid. It's not a popular opinion, but I think a lot of people actually share it. We've talked about that before.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he should have got 8.5 probably carry price,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, my point is that I don't think a goalie should get paid that much anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about it like NHL teams haven't come to that conclusion yet that goalies should make that much money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not to say that he shouldn't get well paid. I just think if you're asking for 12 million,
Oh, it is a little much.
that's you're kind of hampering your team, aren't you? You got Panarin there at 11.6, right?
Yeah.
And you want 12. I mean, now you want to be the Maple Leafs.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's it. You just agree. You're not gonna have nothing to say.
Yeah, but no, like at that much for a goalie, it just doesn't make really any sense. I don't care how good you are.
It's too much. Yeah,
It's way too much for a goaltender.
Maybe your whole tandem can add up to that. Both, but I don't think one goalie.
No.
Should go. I guess I'm old, but I'm old school, so maybe that's the reason why goalies shouldn't cost you that much.
And I mean, unless year in and year out, you're getting like a 9.9, something ridiculous, like a 990 save percentage, and you've won like 10 cups in a row.
No, granted, and it's okay. Listen, if you're gonna pay, say you're gonna pay like Swayman just got right 8.25, right? Realistically, your backup shouldn't cost you more than about 3,
right?
As a maximum. You don't really want to go higher than 10, 11 million on your goalies, no? Now maybe that's changed.
Really.
I'm just old fashioned, but I mean, in my day, goalies cost a lot less. So, anyways, that's that news. We don't have to beat that. It's a dead horse. Let's not beat it. We just went through all this with Swayman talking about whether goalies are worth it. All right, it is our season preview. Games start tomorrow for Montreal. They are hosting Toronto Maple Leafs in the season opener. Last year it was in Toronto. This year it's in Montreal. I was looking forward to this game a lot more before the Patrick Laine injury, with a lot more confidence in Montreal winning that game. I still think Montreal can win this game.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, what's your take on opening night tomorrow?
Oh, look, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited to see Lane Hudson finally in the thick of things in the NHL. I think he's going to be a difference maker. I really do. And anyone who's watched him play, I think would agree with that. And I know a lot of experts have him, get neck and neck with guys like Celebrini, Michkov, Stankoven in the Calder race. So, and I think that's warranted. I think he is that good. And I think just by him alone, I think he'll be scoring some more goals. Obviously, when Laine comes back in a couple of months, I think that'll go up as well. But I'm also excited to see guys like Kapanen and Heineman in the lineup. I think Oliver Kapanen and Heineman both had good camps. And I think the talent's there for both of them. I think Kapanen especially, I think he's a great 200-foot player. I think we'll be able to weather the storm until Laine comes back.
So we should have actually started with this here because you're talking about Kapanen and Heineman making it. Maybe some people don't know that, but here's the roster for the team. And it's in no particular order there. Those aren't lines laid out, right? So we'll start one row at a time. Anderson, Cole Caulfield, Jake Evans, Kapanen, Slavkovsky, Caden Gooley, David Savard.
You imagine if someone saw that and thought it was the lines and Anderson or
I know. That's why I pointed it out. Because
all right, somebody call timeout. Somebody's smoking.
When I found this one, I looked at it and went, oh, yeah, that's not the lines, because that scared me for a second, right?
Yeah, that would have scared the shit out of me, too.
You got Yoel Armia, Kirby Dach, Brendan Gallagher, Alex Newhook, Nick Suzuki, Lane Hudson, Jaden Struble made it, Alex Barry-Boulet, Dvorak, Heineman, Emil Heineman. I think he had a really good camp and deserving of getting the shot. Michael Pezzetta, Justin Barron, Mike Matheson, Arbor Jacki, and the goalies are Sam Montembeau and Caden Primo. That's not a surprise. So just to get that out of the way, one name you might have noticed is not there. And to be honest with you, I did a short yesterday when those names came out, and I totally missed that Joshua Roy was not listed there, and he has been sent to Laval. Before we go further, I'll just give you what Coach Marty said on Joshua Roy not making the team. We didn't feel like he earned a spot to begin here, and I felt like Barry Boulay earned a spot to be here. At the end of the day, it's an internal competition. And when we always talk about, having so many good players, and it's a good problem to have, and it creates great competition, and there you go.
Right.
There you go.
No,
right?
Exactly right. And I honestly thought Barry Boulay had a pretty decent camp.
He did.
All things considered, I thought he played well. He's, again, he's not, a top 6 type guy, but it's just another really good depth piece. He can do a job.
My only problem though is his size. He's not a big guy. But I thought, same like you, I thought he had a pretty decent camp. I wanted him not to for some reason, and so that it wouldn't be part of that competition. But he had a good camp, so deservedly so. Will he stick around? We don't know. I don't think Joshua was stuck in Laval, but he could be for this season, and maybe lead them to a championship down there. Wouldn't be bad for him.
No, not at all. Look, again, it's honestly too. It really, I think it'll be good too for guys like like Owen Beck, like having kind of a guy like Watt down there to help him along, but also kind of learn the pro kind of style. Not that they don't know it, but to kind of get them up to speed, if you will.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think it hurts Roy's development even. No. I'll be honest with you. Because if he didn't earn the job, then he needs to go down there and do whatever he has to earn it. Whether even if it's just motivation or something like that. I think they just scored another one. It's 5-1.
Bruins fans who thought Korpisalo was going to be good.
Yeah, Bruins are getting their ass. Korpisalo not having a good night tonight. Not having a good night tonight.
Oh, what a stop by. I think that was, Rodriguez maybe, 17?
I don't know, but anyways, we're not here to do that. Just it's funny that they scored.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. And it's funny because obviously the big rivalry with Boston, not a team I like, but also because of Cam and Vogel, part of the other channel, and they're big Boston fans. So, we get to rub it in a little bit. And,
we do.
That's what makes it even more fun. So, what can you do, right? All right. So now that we've said who's on the roster, and you've talked basically about, you can continue then, actually. Now, because you mentioned Kapanen and you mentioned Heineman, and I just wanted people to know that they were on the roster. And you didn't get to Hudson yet. No, you led off with that, right? Actually,
I think Lane Hudson's the obvious one, right? I mean, I think everyone's excited to watch him play.
Wasn't in doubt.
Yeah, that was never in doubt. And again, it wouldn't shock me again if he's in like a 6-horse race for the Calder. I mean, he's that good. I think he's a difference maker on this team. And I know it's going to be his rookie year, but
if you're going to give it a 6-horse race, he's got to be in that. I mean, if he's not.
A lot of people have basically between him, Celebrini, and Mishkov.
No, that's what I'm saying. Guys. So if you're going 6-horse race, that's 6 players, top 6. I think if he doesn't make it in the top 6, something went wrong this season.
Yeah, I think so.
Something had to have gone badly wrong for his season, injury, something like that would have had to happen. Otherwise, I think if he plays 70 games or more, I think he's in that conversation. If he plays a full season where he plays all games, I think he's in that top 3.
Yeah.
I almost can't see. I mean, maybe he doesn't have the season we think, but I don't know.
Honestly, I'm hard pressed to believe that he won't. He's going to get a ton of assists. He is. He just has a knack for creating his own space and just throwing the puck on net. But the way he throws it on net, he's not just throwing it. he'll throw it on net, but he'll put it right in the exact spot where it's going to either hit someone and go in, or it's going to bounce. Yeah. Someone's going to put it in, or hit a stick and go in.
You know what
That's why he gets so many assists.
You know what
he just knows where to put the puck.
Location, 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 and yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna get his share of points, and we can talk about this because it goes in what I want to say. Power play units, right? I mean, he's going to be a power play quarterback, kind of already confirmed because he's not on the first unit to start the season. He's on the second unit, but I have to think that that's just to ease him in. And if he shows well, which we expect he will, Matheson is kind of not creative out there on it. Like, he can quarterback the power play, but it's not creative enough. And the second unit is not
the right guys.
It's not a loaded unit. You're going to look at the second unit and go, what? Like, you're wasting him there. I think it's just to ease him in. And I think with it, probably after the first month or so, he'll be quarterbacking that first unit. If he's quarterbacking that first unit, points are going to come because of who's on there and the points that they're going to get some points. So, and he's going to be getting an assist on a lot of the power play goals that first unit once he's on there.
Just even strength too, really. Like when he's got the puck zone, I mean, he's going to be creating so much.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna have a big impact on that power play.
Oh no, without a doubt.
You know,
especially the guy like Gallagher, who we know is going to park his ass in front of the net. Like, there's going to be a lot of tip-in goals. It's just the style Lane Hudson plays.
Oh, you're talking because of the unit. Yeah,
of the unit he's on. Yeah.
So Gallagher's on the second unit to start the season. I didn't. I should have gotten that to make an overlay for you guys, but I didn't do that. I didn't think at the time. So it's, if I'm correct now, Gallagher, Armia,
Barry Boulay. Oh no, Barry Boulay's on the first unit, I think.
No, anyway, you're gonna look at it. The only one,
Galley, Newhook, Armia, Hudson, and I forget who else.
Right. So basically,
maybe I don't remember.
He's got Newhook, who's good. And him, I don't know. The rest of that unit, you look at it and go, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not good. We'll see how it works out. But the first unit should be good. It's the same. It's same with Kirby Doc added to it, right? It's the same as the last year, the first unit. But Doc is in there in place of, I can't remember who.
Yeah, me neither.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember he's anyway. So that's going to be some points there. Anyway,
might have been Newhook. That might have been on that unit to start the year, and then after the injury, I think they moved Newhook to that unit.
And then Newhook got injured, so then
it's probably Anderson or somebody.
It was Anderson.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was.
I think it was too.
Yeah. So, anyways, to say that things are going to look better, and points wise, goals wise, that they need more goals if they want to compete to move up in the division. Goals are going to be what's the word? More frequent. I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
More consistent. A lot more consistent.
There's going to be more goals scored this year. We had 202, I think, last season, for right at the bottom of the league. I don't think they're going to be at the top of the league, but I don't think they're going to be at the bottom either. I think they'll end up somewhere in the middle of the pack as far as goals scored. And that's a lot to do with Lane Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
That improved power play, right? Because our power play, was anemic. I don't know what else you could call it.
That's the word for it.
It was anemic. When it
got to a point where we probably wish we could decline the power play.
Yeah, which and listen, nothing in the preseason, nothing said that power play is better. But that's if you're looking at it and going, well, that's the power play and the results. You have to look at who's playing on these power play units in the games, and it wasn't good. So the fact that they went over preseason on the power play, I don't think it's anything to worry about unless it continues for 5 games or so into the season, and you can start worrying about the power play. I don't think at this point preseason is anything to worry about. It was a weird preseason. Let's get that off our chest. Was it not a weird preseason? Injuries were crazy. Struggle is the struggle. Well, teams do struggle sometimes in preseason, but I just felt it was a weird preseason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Can't put my finger on it.
Well, it was chippy, right? I mean, there was the 4 games against Toronto and Ottawa got nasty.
It was chippy, and there were a lot of injuries all over the league. There was injuries to some big names, and it was just I don't know. It was just an odd preseason. I mean, to the point where people starting to question this year, do we need preseason? I don't know how you guys at home feel. You can let us know in the comment section on that, actually. I, for one, think preseason is necessary.
Yeah, but I don't think they should play 6 games. Like, I'm of the mindset kind of what they're talking about with the new CBA, where they shorten the preseason to 4 games, and in the regular season, they add those 2 games on, and it's an 84-game regular season. I'm cool with that. But I don't think you need a couple of preseason games to at least have guys get the legs warm.
I see that as being more of a money grab than anything, but I will say that with the added, especially if they want to expand anymore, you got to add more games to the regular season. So yeah, I guess I'm okay with that, but you can't get rid of preseason.
And no, I don't think you really can't, because how are you going to judge talent, right? Like, how are you going to judge the guys trying to make the team? But again, I don't think you need 6 games, right? Because really, after the
kind of think of it this way, because what you just said, right? It's an evaluation time. Like, you need that time, right? If you take away preseason and add more games, even if it's more than 2, it's the same. It's the same thing. In the beginning of the season will be like preseason, because everyone has to get themselves up to speed.
Right. No, I get that.
So I
think 4 games is adequate.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other is how I see it. So I say do the preseason. I'm fine with it. 4 to 6 games. Okay. Whatever, but I think you need it. All right, let's get back to our season preview. This was not the most thought out season preview because I did one already on Talking Habs like a month ago, maybe somewhere like that. And I was out all day and I didn't have a lot of time, but I think we can still figure out what's going on in preseason, right? Any surprises for you, not in the preseason games, but in the team that's going to break camp, and kind of what you think is going to kind of go on in the first blush of the season?
You really just kind of Joshua, but again, at the end of the day, like it's not something I'm gonna lose sleep over. Like, it's fine. Again, and I'm glad. I part of me didn't really expect Heineman to break camp, because I don't think we really talked about him breaking camp at all. But
I knew he was competing heavily with Kapanen, and since they were both having good camps, that possibility for Heineman and Kapanen to make it, I didn't think all 3, Barry Boulay and those 2, can make it. I didn't think there was the spot.
Well, I mean, obviously one made it because of the Line A injury. He basically had the extra spot there.
Yeah, I mean, Kapanen more than likely is because of Line A, and then they cut Roy, so Heineman. And then I guess there were the spot. Yeah, when you think about it, because
you also need kind of that extra forward.
2 could make it. So if you take out Roy from that mix, then Barry Boulay slips in there. And it's what Marty said. Barry Boulay had a better camp than him.
And like I said, I mean, I think Barry Boulay did have a good camp. I liked what I saw out of him. He worked hard.
More experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the experience is there. He's okay in the dot.
And he's a cup winner.
No, he is. And look,
so there's something to say.
He's the type of depth guy that you love to have on your team, because you can slot him in the lineup and he'll do a job. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he'll go in there, he'll work hard, he'll do what he needs to do. And you need that on any team. I
just think the size for me isn't the issue, but
I get that.
I agree. But I mean, it doesn't mean like you said, He's not going to be a regular. And you know what? He's an experienced NHLer who has won a cup,
Right.
knows what it takes to be in the NHL.
Who do you win the cup with?
I'm good with it. Tampa.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I'm fine with it. Like I said too, I'm excited to watch Heineman. I think the talent's there for sure. I think because we get him in the Chirac trade, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Who, Heineman?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it Calgary? Was it Calgary we got him from? It was one of those trades, though. It was one of those.
I thought it was the Chirac trade.
It could be. It was one of those early trades with Hughes. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I can't remember.
I remember kind of reading into him at the time, and I was like, "All right, there's something here, right?" Like he was definitely showing some flashes that something was there, and I'm glad he made the roster. I'm excited to watch him play. I think he's a good player, and he'll get to kind of develop with the big club. But I think he can hang. I think the NHL motor is there. I think the IQ's there. Probably going to take him a little bit to kind of get up to that speed, but I think the talent's there.
Yeah, a bottom six player for sure. Yeah, I know he had a good camp, and he kind of showed he wants it, what you want to see, right? I mean,
right.
He had a good camp last year. I remember last year had a really good camp, and I think he built on that this year, and and I think that made them notice. He didn't fall backwards. He actually looked even better this year. Not surprised he made it.
Yeah, no, I mean, looking back on it, yeah. No, I certainly agree.
Geez, it's gonna be a short one.
But I will say this too, like for those that kind of follow the prospect pool that we kind of have.
I do have something.
Again, there's a lot of guys in that pool that they might not, they're not got, like a Hage or a Demidov who more than likely are projecting top 6. But a vast majority of the forwards we have down there are like, they're, middle, like that kind of third line right there.
Bottom 9, I call them.
Yeah, bottom 9, but more so third line because I think a lot of them have the talent to play third line, and if need be, you can slot them up. But there's a lot of guys that are just solid, good players that you can slot in. They'll do a job, and they're so young, they'll get a little better, but the skill's there, right? And I just think it's great that we have that much depth because we really do have a lot of depth.
It's good to have depth.
Forwards, defense, and goaltending. Is it as good as some other teams? No, but it's there. There's a lot of depth there, especially at center. I think, like I've said, I think we're like 6 guys deep at center, right? If you count the 4 guys in the, with Kapanen, right? The 4 guys on the big club with Cappy, plus a guy like Owen Beck and another like Y I think can play center too and wing. There's a lot of guys like that too that can play multiple positions like that. So we're very, very deep, which is a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's a good problem to have depth because it increases competition. Guys push each other and it makes everybody better. So yeah, I mean, I remember the days of getting an injury. Who are you calling up? Michael Blunden. That was the best guy we had.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see those days ever again. So.
Right. Yeah. Nowadays, like you have an injury. All right, Joshua.
No, well, this is the point, or Beck or whoever's playing better, or it's by position. If it's a winger, if it's a center, you got guys now that you can call up, even in net, right? With Jacob Dobish. Who looked really good in camp. Jacob Dobish looked really good in camp.
No, I thought he looked good. And like I said, I think by the end of the year, Fowler's probably going to be in Laval. If he has another season like he did last year, he's 2 and done.
Yeah, he's 2 and done. I think either way, whether he's in Laval and he manages to be able to play a couple games or not, doesn't really matter. Because I think he'll be in Laval next season for sure. Not this one maybe, but so I mean, future strong.
No, I mean it really is. And again, Demidov over in Russia, and I don't know if anyone's watched any NCAA hockey, but Michael Hage looks fucking amazing.
Michael Hage looks
amazing. He looks so good. I know it's only been 2 games.
First
But
5
watching him
goals,
play, his vision, the way he's been assisting, and the goal he scored, oh my God.
Everything as advertised. And Michigan's first 5 goals, he was in on all 5. 4 assists, 1 goal.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Oh my God.
First 5 goals of the season.
And
over
a couple
2
of
games.
those passes were pretty. I know. I think I sent you a couple of them. They were pretty.
I've seen them on Twitter anyway, but no.
His goal he
Michael
scored
Hayes,
too was awesome. He like cut in, made like a little move, like put the puck under the defender's stick, and then just used the size and plopped it in.
I didn't see the goal. I saw the assist, didn't see the goal. But I get this question often enough already in the chats and the live streams. What's his upside? Well, I don't know at this point because he's looking better in college to start. It's
I mean, he looks really good.
Thought.
He's looked dynamite the first 2 games, and Michigan played Minnesota State, who's a top. They're not the top 10, but they're a ranked team. They're a very, very good hockey team. Every year in and year out, it's a great program. So the fact that he's been able to contribute that much as a rookie at the center position for a team like Michigan, who's I think is ranked in like the top 10, is just phenomenal.
I had heard when we drafted him that at some point in the year before, Michael Hayes was thought to be a possible top 10 pick. You're seeing him play in Michigan, and you go, "Oh, I could see that. I can see."
Yeah, I mean the talent. Woodle's a talent, and I still think there's a lot of untapped talent there. It's phenomenal. I mean, just watch the highlights of the first 2 games. I mean, he was everywhere, doing everything. It's just his vision is insane.
Yeah,
I mean, the way he was making passes, like.
So if you're wondering, is he good enough? Because we got a lot of talent coming up. I think Michael Hayes is going to make this team in a couple of years, 3 years probably. A couple of years in college.
I think he and Owen Beck are going to be competing against each other for
I think
that third line center spot team for now. But I think Michael Hayes might have the talent to even go play top 6 minutes.
Without a doubt. He does.
The puck skills are there. I mean, the vision's there, the passing's there, his speed's there. He plays the game really, really fast.
Yeah. No, he plays with pace. His upside was said to be a second line center, a high end second line center, and I don't think that's.
I think so,
and that's not a over evaluation at all.
No, I don't think so at all.
And I knew nothing about this kid before we drafted him. To be honest, I'd seen the name out there, but I never looked into him because it was farther down and whatever. So I didn't know anything about him except his name. And they drafted him, and I mean that was a really good pick. So
I mean, it really was. And again, it just bolsters that depth at center. I mean, obviously he's going to play at Michigan for a couple of years, but again, right? It
brings that level of depth up, right? The talent level comes up.
Because you're already, like I said, about 6 deep with Beck and Laval, and now you got this kid who's developing at Michigan.
Yeah, and you got Demidov coming over who says he loves to play center. So there's a lot of good talent coming. No,
I mean there really is.
We've talked about it before, but not lately. It's a thing, I think, a trend in the NHL that's been kind of happening over the last few seasons is that I think most NHL teams, that's what they want. They want as many centers in the lineup, not necessarily playing center, but on the wing, right? You want a center and a winger who can play center.
I mean, look at that Habs, even their lineup right now, right? I count besides the 4 centers, we know Cappy can play center. We know Newhook, when needed, can play center.
Yeah.
So Barry Goulet, I think, can play a little bit of center. So it's
they're definitely
one of those things that's good when you see the center get tossed out of the dot and you go, all right, well, Cappy's going to go in and take it.
I think that's the thought process, right? Is that or in situations where they switch off.
Yeah.
You got a guy that when he switches off can actually do the job well,
Yeah, or just maybe a different look in the dot, right? Like say there's a big center coming up. You want a guy like Kirby Dach taking that face off, who can match up strength wise. But if it's a guy that's a little bit quicker, put a guy like Cappy in there who's got really quick hands in the dot. So it's the ability to throw different looks as well.
Gives you it gives you a lot of options, and that's what you want. You want as many options as possible, because situations change through the game. So
Right.
Really,
Again, with injuries too, right? Like say Dvorak gets hurt, well, you can slot Cappy into there, right? And you're fine. Like, you know what I mean?
the management's done a really good job. When you think about before Kent Hughes got here, right? And training camp, the difference in this team, talent-wise, literally at every position up and down the lineup.
I mean, work ethic-wise too, really. I mean, these guys,
crazy.
The one thing I've always said that's been consistent is, I mean, they work their asses off on the ice. You know, they're still developing, so the results aren't quite there yet. But you can tell they're working their asses off, trying to get better every game. And
I mean, it's going to be a prototypical Habs player. Is going to be a guy that works his ass off.
And Marty St. Louis said that, right? He wants hockey players, not guys that play hockey.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Guys that work hard.
And I think he's a big part of that too.
You don't want tuna that tastes good.
I think the way he coaches.
No, I said it wrong.
I just think the way that Marty St. Louis coaches, the way that the players kind of receive the way he coaches, it's a great combination.
No, without a doubt.
And the younger players, again, they're not afraid to make a mistake because they know they're not going to get screamed at.
Them up.
Marty will say, all right, listen, we'll work on this and that, and in practice, or you should have done this, but listen, you're fine. Because that's how you get better.
Right back out.
Learn from your mistakes, right?
He puts them right back out next shift. That's
how you learn.
They're back out there, even with a big mistake, and players see that,
And I mean, we know in the past with coaches we've had here, that wasn't really the case. I think of like Michel Therrien, and I think of Claude Julien.
You didn't
guys like that, or even other coaches in the league, right?
If you were young, you made a mistake. Veterans in your place next time.
Or if you were just young in general, with Don Ducharme, he's like, nope, you're not playing.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's a big difference, and
but that's what it is. Like, you need coaches with that mindset where listen, they're a young team, but I see the talent here. They're gonna make mistakes, but if I think the way Marty St. Louis looks at it is, if I bench these kids, I'm holding them back, right, from learning.
Right.
That's how you learn. You learn from your mistakes.
Learn from making mistakes. Right.
I mean, these guys have learned year in and year out. They've been learning and getting better every year.
I mean, think about it. When you're afraid to make a mistake, you screw up your learning curve because you can't make the mistake to learn from.
Right.
And even if somebody could, show you X's and O's and in a video, sometimes you got to make the mistake to learn from it.
Yeah.
You actually have to do it. So if you're, it's a lot better to allow a guy out there, makes a mistake, and you put him back out there. It's going to do a lot better down the road, Yeah,
they could be little things too, like, right? Like just skating. Like maybe, there's a play where, for example, maybe Lane Hudson, stops a little earlier, maybe doesn't do enough, crossovers, something like that, right? And you could go, all right, listen, maybe I'll take 2-3 more crossovers, more strides. And that, that way I can make this happen or that happen.
I saw episode 1 of The Rebuild today. So if you don't know what that is, it's a series on Crave, which is in Canada only. It's all about the Habs last season, and it's about the rebuild. And I hear, by the way, season 2 is being filmed now. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be another season. They were doing a session on ice with, and I don't know if it was Adam Nicholas or, one of those development guys. And it's exactly what he was talking about, is the footwork. And he was saying, you guys, your footwork is sloppy. It's horrible. If you have clean footwork, it makes all the difference in the world from any guy to a champion. Mm-hmm. And they were working on their feet. And so it's interesting you're talking about that.
But that's what I mean, right? It could just be little things like that.
Just little things like that.
Maybe take another couple strides here, then you can get, get that edge, or, you could get that speed, things like that.
Yeah, I'm this guy it's on Facebook. I watch these little Instagram videos. I don't know who the player is, but he's coaching now. He's a French guy, but his English is good, but he says things kind of funny. But he says this: if I'm, if we're in a sort of a foot race, right, and I'm up against, say, Mike, I'm just gonna give a name. If he takes 5 strides, but I take 6, I'm going to stay ahead of him every time.
And there's another coach, I forget his name.
Crossovers. He teaches them, if you do 1, or you do 2 or 3. If you're doing the 3, you're gonna win every time. You're gonna be in the right position. You're gonna, he teaches stuff like that. So again, interesting.
There's another coach.
I don't know what it has
really
to do with
good. I watch his shorts on YouTube a lot. It's Sean something with it. I Train Hockey is what he does.
I think that's it. That's him.
He's not French though.
He says push.
Yes, that's him.
I thought he was French. I thought that's why. Okay. Well, what's his name?
It's Sean something, but it's I Train Hockey. But yeah, I love watching his video but that's what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like even little things like that where you go, all right, well, look, so-and-so is taking 4 strides. I need you taking 5, 6, 7 strides.
Right.
To beat him, this small stuff like
every
that
time.
too.
Yeah. Funny that it's interesting.
Yeah. He's such a good coach though, like honest to God, like the way, like when you watch his video, the way he instructs, it's so good.
He's working with kids, eh?
Yeah. Well, he works with all ages too. The videos are with his kind of youth camps, but he does work with.
Right, he works a lot of times with younger kids, and I think it's really good coaching for them. The way he,
I do. I think he's a great, phenomenal coach. I really do. Sometimes I'm watching those videos, I'm like, damn, I wish when I was their age, this guy was doing this because I fucking sign up right away.
Hey, listen, if I was thinking about starting to play hockey again, I'd be watching that for the tips.
It's great. It's
just
great
to get myself back in.
Yeah,
I haven't played hockey in a long time, so I wasn't that good to start with. I can only imagine how bad I'd be now. All right, you know what? Let's get into our season predictions. And did I tell you we're gonna do this? He's watching the game.
Well, no, Mark. I'm struggling to look at Mark Messier in a Utah jersey.
Oh, is that what's up there? Oh well.
Because I had the ESPN feed.
Give him a bag of potato chips; he'll be fine.
Subban's wearing a Blackhawks jersey.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're the next game.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why. So season predictions. Just for the Habs. If you want to see final standing predictions, by the way, check out our Pucking Around podcast, which is on our other channel. Actually, I don't know why we have that up there. I forgot to take it off. But it's good. Don't Puck with Media. You see it in the corner there. Check that out. We did our final season, our early final standings predictions for this season. So check that out if you want to hear those. These are for Montreal only. What do you think the record's going to be?
I mean, it's tough because I do think they're going to have a bit better record this year. Obviously, with the Line A injury, I still think a guy like Lane Hudson is going to add goals, going to add some wins, especially in 3-on-3, right? I think we know the first line is going to be Caulfield, Suzuki, Hudson. That's going to win a lot of 3-on-3 overtime games.
Yep.
Probably somewhere around 500, maybe a little higher. It's just hard to tell. But again, I think standings wise, I think there is a legitimate shot to maybe finish around 5th in the Atlantic. I don't think that's a lofty goal at all.
For 5th? Yeah, for 5th I do actually without Line A. Line A's going to miss. I mean, according to him, he says half the season. So we're looking at, So before the Line A injury, I had them at 41, 33, and 8. But after that, I'm going to say it's probably going to be something more like 39, 35.
See, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I just couldn't do the mental math to make it add up to 82. Well, yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking along those lines.
Yeah, no, I did a preview already, so that's what I had. Yeah, somewhere there, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of, I don't know if they're going to have any kind of, what's the word I'm looking at? I know there'll be a letdown from what Line A being in the lineup from day one would have been. And I don't know how much of it, There's a possibility that these guys, you put Kapanen in the lineup, it's not Line A, but he brings that youth and that extra excitement.
I think Heidemann kind of has that to him as well. Right. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and that could do enough that they can still get the wins, right?
Yeah, like I said, I think they can weather the storm without Line A. I do.
I think they can to some extent, but they also, like you say, they could weather the storm, and it probably would have been around the same. We won't really know, but I do think that this team is improved. But I do think not Laine missing half the season, it drops them down a little bit in what I would have thought, right? So I'm not as optimistic as you are to still have them at fifth, but I think sixth, with a possibility that if all things break right, that they could still do that, and they could still, maybe not as much as I thought, be right there and just miss the playoffs, but come close.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think, and again, I think a lot of people are still kind of sleeping on the Habs a little bit. But yeah,
A lot of people are sleeping on the Habs. They still laughing at it's till they start to win. It's going to happen. That's nothing you can do.
Which is fine. That's fine. No, I'm laugh at us. We're a sleeping giant for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's fine. Laugh until you're not going to be.
When this team goes full throttle, you're not going to be laughing.
You're not going to be laughing. That's what I say. Laugh until
you're not for about a decade or so. You're not going to be laughing.
Nope. It'll be. You won't feel. Like now when I see like highlights where they go through the teams and then they get to the Habs and they show some stupid highlight and you feel like, yeah, that's us. We're not going to have that too much longer.
No,
we're going to be back to the days where when I was a kid, you don't know how proud we were of that logo right there and what he's wearing. How proud we were to see that, to have anybody.
Well, have you seen the new NHL ad, like the new Arrows here ad? Nick Suzuki's in it.
Yeah, I know. I saw
that, and I was like,
"Yeah,
coming back." But same thing. I was like, "That's sick." Just a Hab in general in that ad, it made me so happy.
Okay, so I thought that too, and then I thought that, if anybody is wondering, is Nick Suzuki a number one center? That fucking ad tells you that he is, because the reason he's in that ad is because he's deserving over a lot of other people that could have been in there.
Yeah, I think so. And I think a lot of people still underrate Suzuki, and it boggles my mind.
Yeah, well, they didn't. What was the ad for again? Was it?
It was like the golden generations here. And it was McDavid, Suzuki, Crosby.
Right. Sportsnet was it? I saw it on
somebody
Twitter.
else.
I don't know where the ad was. Yeah. I saw it on Twitter, but
if he's in that ad, that means he's a top player in this next golden generation. So I guess he's a top line center. I don't know.
People in the know recognized it,
Yeah.
So,
No, I mean, I think anybody with the brain can recognize how good he is.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. If you don't have
and I think his leadership too. Like I even though he's young, I dare say he's in the top echelon of captains in this league too. Like he's just so mature for his age.
Some of the things he does, the way he welcomes new players, the way he actually, what he said, he has input into some of their decisions.
I read that. Yeah, he keeps tabs on development. Yeah,
he wants the input. He's going to be in management. He's going to be either coach and then in management.
Yeah,
he says it too. He thinks he has management, like he has a leaning towards it. And he's such a smart kid. He's going to make I think he's going to make a good coach and manager. Because it seems that I know his career is still young, but they think about these things already at their age, where they're going to go afterward. Because careers are still short compared to regular people's careers. But yeah, I think Nick Suzuki is going to be in management. So yeah, very interesting stuff. That's it. I got nothing else. You got anything else to add here tonight?
No, get ready. Hockey's back, people. Game 1 tomorrow. Tonight. When you're watching this,
we got a big next 2 days. So we're recording this on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, back-to-back opening games of the season. I've got a new post hockey game podcast, so you should look for. It's going to be called Habs at Night. It's going to be very short, 10 to 20 minutes after each game, and maybe once during the week when they're not playing. But definitely after, to recap the game any news and anything to talk about after. It'll just be a podcast, just me talking. Hopefully, you guys will like that. And it starts tomorrow night. So, no, I'm not nervous about it at all.
Yeah, look, I'm excited, man. Hockey's back. College hockey, pro hockey, it's all back. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, it's
there's just so much hockey to watch. It's great.
Sunday we did our fantasy pool draft, and that to me that's like the official kickoff.
Yeah,
season's here. I got a fantasy team, and we're right into it. So yeah, all right. So we're gonna end it with that. We'll be back next week. I don't think there's a game next week on Wednesday, so we'll be back on our normal recording night, and we'll bring you news from the first week of Habs hockey, and we'll go from there. So thanks for joining us tonight to listen to us sort of just babble away, talk about the Habs and the upcoming season, and hopefully you'll be back next week. So till then, stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all, and have a great week, and go Habs, go! We're beating Toronto tomorrow and Boston on Thursday. Why not? Go big or go home. And then it's Ottawa on Saturday. 3 wins, opening the season. Let's go, Habs.
How about that, though, right? Our 3 biggest rivals to open the fucking season.
Let's go. Let's get into it. And omen for the season. Go, Habs, go. Have a good week, everybody.